Good morning, dear students. We were discussing about teaching learning process in first unit of nursing education, and we have seen what are the teaching, what is learning, what are the elements of teaching learning process, and also we have discussed about the functions of teaching learning, functions of learning, the factors influencing learning. These all things we have discussed. So now we will discuss about some laws of learning, or we can say that it is the principles of learning. Laws of learning or principles of learning we will discuss now. So this laws of learning is made, or it is proposed by Edward L. Thorndike. So this Edward L. Thorndike proposed this particular laws of learning depending upon or based on his experiments on animal learning. So, and based on this, he has made certain principles of learning that is known as the laws of learning. So, this laws of learning was proposed by Edward L. Thorndike based on his experiments on animal learning. So, in psychology, we must have studied regarding these laws of learning in detail. So, just like as a revision, we will be seeing this particular topic in nursing education also. So, according to Edward L. Thorndike, there are certain primary laws. So, three primary laws are there for learning. They are law of effect, law of exercise, law of readiness. So these are the three primary laws of learning in Edward L. Thorndike's principles of learning or laws of learning. They are law of effect, law of exercise, and law of readiness. So, and other general laws from which these all laws came are the effect, law of effect, law of exercise, law of readiness, law of primacy, intensity, recency, and freedom. So initially there are three primary laws, and after that it was developed into these many laws. So we can see one by one in detail. So law of effect. What is law of effect? We can see learning is strengthened when accompanied by a pleasant or satisfying feeling. Learning is weakened when associated with an unpleasant feeling. So this is about the law of effect. So when we are getting satisfaction and when we feel that after studying this particular content there is some meaning for that, and it gives some value for my life, then that is a law of effect. So when I am studying repeatedly, I am passing in the examination and getting higher mark, so automatically I will be interested to learn more and more. And if my learning is not proper and repeatedly I am failing and whatever things I am doing, there is no use for that. In that condition, the strength of learning will be weakened. So this is about the law of effect. After learning, what happens in the individual, depending upon that, the amount of learning happens. So learning is strengthened when accompanied by a pleasant or satisfying feeling, and learning is weakened when associated with an unpleasant feeling. Learning takes place properly when it results in satisfaction and the learner derives pleasure out of it. So, after learning, if we get some pleasure out of that particular learning, again learning happens. This learning will be continued. If it is giving an unpleasant feeling for the person, then it will be giving, that is, this learning amount of learning will be weakened. That is about the law of effect. Okay. So in this we can say that law of effect is explained with this cat and cat foot. So if the child is pulling the string, they will get a pleasant satisfaction by getting the food. So this will be repeated. based on the effect. If we are not giving cat food, again they may not pull the string properly. So depending upon the satisfaction or unsatisfaction, this learning will be strengthened or weakened. So this is about the law of effect. Learning experiences and other activities must be meaningful and understandable in terms of the personal life of the learner. So whenever we are planning for a teaching learning activity, the learning experiences should be meaningful and understandable for the child, and also the activities which we are providing to the student also should be meaningful, and it should be give some satisfaction in the student. Otherwise the strength of learning will be poor. School activities should be organized in increasing difficulty order so that the students may progress without any failure. So whenever we are planning the school activities or examinations, procedures, activities, procedures and assignments, we have to arrange in a order of difficulty, easy to difficulty, so that the number of failures in students should be reduced, so that they will get some satisfaction when they are achieving more and more, and it will cause more amount of learning in the student. That is about the explanation about law of effect. Hope you all are clear with law of effect. We'll continue with the law of exercise. So this principle states that the SR connection is strengthened by use and weakened with disuse. That is stimulus response connection. Stimulus response connection is strengthened by use and weakened with disuse. So it has two parts, that is a law of use and law of disuse. So things most often repeated are best remembered. So if we are using some learned material repeatedly, it will be best remembered. So you are attending only the classes and not revising it properly, it is not used properly, so it may not be remembered properly. And if it is repeatedly studied and it is reviewed appropriately, it will be causing the law of use, that is best remembered. Things most often repeated are best remembered, that is a law of use. So we have to use it. Students do not learn complex tasks in a single session. So whenever we are studying anything, we have to remember that the students cannot learn complex tasks in a single session. So we have to have multiple sessions, and also the students should review it repeatedly to get the complex task easy to learn or easy to remember. So that's about the law of use. The instructor must repeat important items of subject matter at reasonable intervals. So this is the responsibility of the teacher also. The learner has the responsibility on learning, and teacher also has a responsibility. That means the teacher has to review the lessons in between, or frequently the repetition of the chapters should be there, so that the students will be using that information which is given to the students repeatedly. So that is about the law of exercise. The third law is law of readiness. Law of readiness says that the principle says that the motivation is needed to develop an association or display changed behavior. So this is from the part of the learner. So there should be some amount of motivation, and also there will be a readiness to change the behavior. So I want to learn, and my knowledge I have to change or I have to modify. So that is a readiness should be there from the part of learner. Then only learning will be properly done, or learning will be happening. Individuals learn best when they are physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to learn, and they do not learn well if they see no reason for learning. if they are not finding any reason for learning my content, or if they are not physically, mentally or emotionally ready to learn, they have some physical problems, emotional problems or mental problems, they are not ready to learn, so they may not learn properly. And if they are not finding any reason for learning, again this affects the amount of learning. So that's about the law of readiness. The motivation should be there from the part of learner to learn better. Some additional laws are also there. These are the primary laws which we have seen, and the additional laws are law of primacy. Things learned first create a strong impression. So whenever we are teaching any content, we have to see that whatever things is learned first will have a strong impression on the student. So what is taught must be the right for the first time. So whenever we are teaching, the content should be correct. Content should be right. Whenever we are teaching in the first time teaching, it should be complete and it should be correct. So unteaching wrong first impression is harder than teaching them right the first time. So ഇന്ന് ഞാനൊരു കാര്യം പഠിപ്പിച്ചു, നാളെ വന്നിട്ട് ഇന്നലെ പഠിപ്പിച്ചതിൽ കുറച്ച് തെറ്റുണ്ട്, അതൊക്കെ മാറ്റിക്കോളൂ, മായിച്ചോളൂ, നാളെ രീതിയിൽ വേറെയാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിനെക്കാട്ടിലും എളുപ്പമാണ് we have to teach the right in the first time. So unteaching a wrong impression is difficult, and comparing to teaching them the first time, right the first time. So that is a law of primacy. Every time it has a strong impression, that's a first learned material has a strong impression. And we have to remember that what the student learns must be procedurally correct and applied the very first time. So whenever we, especially when we are talking about nursing, whenever we are talking about nursing procedures, we have to remember that whatever procedures which we are discussing with the students, it should be correct in the first time. So every time we have to remember that what I am teaching should be correct in the first time itself. So that is about the law of primacy. Additional law, first one, additional law, law of primacy. The second additional law is law of recency. Law of recency, things most recently learned are best remembered. Things most recently learned are best remembered. So that is a law of recency. So yesterday's topic will be better remembered than the last week's topic. And frequent review and summarization help fix in the mind the material covered. So here law of recency, we have to remember that every time we cannot repeat the same class in a frequent interval, so we have to have a summarization. So law of recency helps that in between the session and in between the semesters there should be some summarization, or the material which is covered we have to review it. And this principle often determines the sequence of lectures within a course of instruction also. So whenever we are teaching a student, in between also we have to summarize, and at the end of the session also we have to give a summary of whatever things which we are discussed. So that's about the law of recency. So law of recency, things most recently learned are best remembered. So that is the point of that particular law. And the next law is law of intensity. Law of intensity, the more intense the material taught, the more likely it will be retained. So more experiences, rich experiences which we are giving to the student, the best learning will be happening, or better learning will be happening. They will be retained, or they will be remembering that particular material which is taught. That is about the law of intensity. A student will learn more from the real thing than from a substitute. So if you are giving a live experience for the student, they will be better remembering than a substitute or any unreal pictures or anything video. When we are showing the actual thing, they will be better remembering. So that's about the law of intensity. The material life experiences which is we are providing to the student, it will be retained better than unreal or poor experiences. In the classroom, demonstrations, skits and role playing increase the learning experience of the students. So instead of a simple lecture, when we are giving some demonstrations of the procedures, skit, role playing, in these all lecture methodologies, we can have high amount of intensity. More intensity material can be given to the student, which can be retained by the student properly. Law of freedom, that is, things freely learned are best learned. So here the principle says that things freely learned are best learned. So without any compulsion, without any force, if we are learning something, they will be best learned. That is about the law of freedom. The greater the freedom enjoyed by the students in the class, greater the intellectual and moral advancements enjoyed by them. So if they are free in the classroom, they will be more enjoying this class and they will be better learning. So that's about the law of freedom. So we have seen regarding the primary laws. So primary laws are law of effect, law of effect, so primary laws were the law of effect, law of exercise and law of readiness. And along with that, we have seen the additional laws or additional laws like law of primacy, law of intensity, law of recency and law of freedom. So we'll continue in the next video. Thank you for viewing this video. Thank you very much.